Hi everyone, this is Vicky Saye Henderson with Muse and Means, and we are back for Wellness Wednesdays. This month we're looking at purpose. So as artists, there's probably a specific moment where we started to feel the nudge towards the arts. Perhaps someone affirmed a skill that we had, or we were just listening to an inner voice and following that interest. Several years ago, I became aware of a study in which it was discovered that American population and culture values the art, but not so much the same for the artist. We value the art, but we less value the artist. And as I look back through my career as a performing artist, I can pinpoint a variety of times where I was made to feel less than I was. Times when someone questioned the validity of what it is that I bring to the table as an artist, that it is a superfluous vocational pursuit. When in fact, many of us artists know just how incredibly important we are to the fiber and the fabric of the world around us. So at the end of the day, it's up to each one of us to know exactly why it is we're here and we're doing what we're doing. So purpose, having a sense of what drives you. I can remember being in elementary school as young as the first grade and wanting to know why we were needing to learn this, the purpose, the why, and that carried on into adulthood. So let this be a few moments where we stop and we just consider purpose, our own individual specific purpose. One of my favorite definitions of vocation, that to which we are called to do, suggests that our ideal calling, our ideal vocation, is that place where one of the world's deepest needs intersects with one of your great joys and one of your great skills and gifts. And that intersection right there is your unique ideal place. So that requires us to know what the world's deep needs are, developing goggles for that, but then also having a sense of understanding what our gifts, those things that are God-given gifts, those things that just innately are in us, and we don't maybe know why. Skills, those things we've honed and worked on and developed. And then interests. Even if we don't have the time or the energy to put towards things, there's certain things that interest us. When we can marry together our skills, our gifts, and our interests in a way that uniquely addresses one of the world's deep and great needs, man, that is a place of purpose. So how do we do that? How do we start to do that? Well, you can take a few moments, find a piece of paper or find your phone or whatever you want to record and wrestle this down into memory. And think about that. What are 3 gifts? Innate abilities, things that people often comment on, wow, you do that so well. And maybe it's not something you've worked on. It's just something that comes natural to you. Maybe write down 3 skills, 3 things that bring you great joy that you have enjoyed working on and developing. And then maybe 3 interests. And then looking around the world and saying, well, what are some deep needs that I see that I feel connected to? And I feel like maybe some marriage of my gifts, skills, and interests can then be the medicine to meet that need. Sometimes it's things that haven't been innovated yet. So that's something to consider. One fun way to do that is with our hand. We can use each finger to consider a different element of what we just talked about. So take a moment to find your own dominant hand, whichever that is. And let's start with the thumb. So the thumb is something that either is unique to you, maybe something you hear people comment on regularly, or it could represent a deep need in the world. So that's the thumb. What's something you see the world needs, or what is something unique to you? And then with our index finger, that which points, where does your true north point? Your compass needle, that thing which has been your constant, your stable direction, or something that you have always felt connected to your entire life long. What is your true north? Where does your compass needle point? What has been a steady thing for you your whole life? And then if we look at our hand as if it were a mountain, and we look at that middle finger, it can be seen as a mountain peak. So what is a mountaintop experience that you have had in which your skills, gifts, or interests have felt fully affirmed and you have felt fully alive? Maybe it was something where when you're engaged in it, time completely is fleeting, or time seems to just evaporate, and it's where did all of that time go? So that's your mountaintop experience. And then for your ring finger, we often wear on our left hand, you know, a wedding band there. This is what you love. What is something that just by its very nature and your engagement in it gives you a sense of deep and great joy, and you just simply love it? And then the last one is, if money were not an object and it was of no consequence, what would you most love to devote 1 year of your life to just because you can? Money is no object. You simply can devote yourself to this place or this activity or these people. What would you give a year of your life toward if resources and money were of no consequence? Considering those 5 things is oftentimes enough to let the subconscious mind start to percolate on those things that bring us great purpose and passion, and how we can combine our energies together in the way of our gifts, our interests, and our skills to show up uniquely as ourselves in the world. You fulfill a very specific and a very unique role in the world. No one has your same collection of observations, memories, skills, gifts, interests. But we can't do much to put them toward a world's great need until we're aware of those things. So take the time that you need to this week to maybe consider them. And I wish you the very best in your journey. Stay strong, be well, spread love and light, and engage in your craft as an artist as only you can. Peace, friends.